Set the standard. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped and thought about how much time you actually have? Not tomorrow, not someday, not when you finally become successful. I mean, right now, your life is moving. Every single day, the clock is moving. And here's the truth that nobody likes to think about. You are not going to be here forever. None of us are. You can believe whatever you believe. You can come from whatever background you come from. You can have money, no money, opportunities, disadvantages, support, no support. But there is one thing every human being has in common. Our time is limited. And once you understand that, you stop treating your days like they are unlimited. You stop wasting hours trying to impress people who won't even remember your name 5 years from now. You stop allowing every distraction to steal your attention. You stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. Because eventually you realize something. Tomorrow is not a strategy. Tomorrow is an excuse when you don't have a plan for today. So I want you to think about your life. Where do you want to be in your 30s? Where do you want to be in your 40s? What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of character do you want to have? What kind of family do you want? What kind of career do you want? What kind of impact do you want to leave behind? Because here's what you need to understand. Your future isn't suddenly created when you arrive there. Your future is being created right now. Every decision you make today is voting for the person you become tomorrow. Every hour you spend learning is building something. Every hour you waste is also building something. Every habit is building something. Every excuse is building something. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're building something. And one day you're going to look at your life and realize, I became the result of what I repeatedly did. That's why standards matter. You need a standard, not somebody else's standard, yours. You have to decide what you will and will not accept from yourself. Because if you don't create your own standard, the world will create one for you. And the world's standard is usually simple. Do whatever is comfortable. Take the easy road, quit when it gets difficult. Follow the crowd. Do what everybody else is doing. Look for approval. Look for shortcuts. And then wonder why your life looks exactly like everybody else's. No, you have to be willing to say, that's not my standard. I don't need to be perfect, but I need to be intentional. I don't need to be better than everybody, but I need to be better than the person I was yesterday. I don't need to win every day, but I need to keep showing up. That's a standard. And once you establish that standard, you have to protect it because people will test it. Life will test it. Your emotions will test it. Your circumstances will test it. There will be mornings when you don't feel like getting up. There will be days when studying feels boring. There will be moments when your dream feels too far away. There will be times when somebody tells you that you aren't capable. There will be moments when you fail. And that's where your standard becomes important because motivation is temporary. Feelings change. Energy changes. Circumstances change. But a standard says, this is who I am, even when I don't feel like it, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody is applauding, even when the result isn't immediate. I still show up. That's what separates potential from achievement. A lot of people have potential. A lot of people are talented. A lot of people are intelligent. A lot of people have dreams. But potential without execution doesn't change your life. You can have the greatest idea in the world. If you never act on it, it remains an idea. You can know exactly what you need to do. If you don't do it, knowledge doesn't help you. You can watch 1,000 motivational videos. You can save 1,000 quotes. You can write down 1,000 goals, but eventually you have to execute. You have to get up. You have to study. You have to practice. You have to work. You have to try again. You have to finish because effort is not the same thing as completion. Starting is important, but finishing is where the difference is made. Anybody can get excited on Monday. Anybody can make a plan at midnight. Anybody can say, this is going to be my year. But what happens when Wednesday comes? What happens when you're tired? What happens when nobody checks on you? What happens when the excitement disappears? That's when the real work begins. Because discipline isn't doing something when you're excited. Discipline is doing what needs to be done after the excitement has disappeared. Think about the people you admire, athletes, scientists, doctors, Entrepreneurs, artists, writers, teachers, leaders. You see the finished product. You see the achievement. You see the success. But you don't always see the ordinary days, the boring days, the difficult days, the days where nothing seemed to happen. Those days matter. The world celebrates the result, but the result was built in private. It was built when nobody was watching. It was built through repetition. And that's why you cannot underestimate ordinary days. Your life can change on an ordinary Tuesday. You don't know which study session will finally make something click. You don't know which opportunity will come from the skill you're developing. You don't know which person you will meet. You don't know which decision will completely change your direction. So don't disrespect today just because today doesn't look spectacular. Today matters. Today is part of the process. And here's another thing. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. You don't know their story. You don't know what they sacrificed. You don't know how long they worked. You don't know what they struggled through. And you don't need their journey. You need yours. Your responsibility is not to become somebody else. Your responsibility is to become the strongest, wisest, most disciplined version of yourself that you can become. That takes time. Give yourself time, but don't use time as an excuse. There's a difference. Patience says, I'm willing to work for this. An excuse says, I'll start someday. Don't confuse the two. If you want something, build toward it. If you don't know how to learn, if you fail, adjust. If you fall behind, recover. If you make a mistake, learn from it. But keep moving, because one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that one failure means the story is over. It doesn't. Failure is information. It tells you something didn't work. Good. Now, you know something. Change your approach. You try again. Get better. Keep moving. You don't need a perfect path. You need persistence. And sometimes your biggest advantage isn't talent. It's endurance. The person who keeps going can eventually pass the person who was more talented. But stop. Think about that. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the most naturally gifted. You don't have to have everything figured out. But you can become the person who refuses to quit on yourself. That's powerful, because when you trust yourself to keep going, your confidence changes. Not fake confidence, real confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing I've been through difficult things before and I kept moving. I've failed before and I recovered. I've been disappointed before and I continue. I've been afraid before and I still took the next step. That's real confidence. And that's what you need. Not confidence that says, I'm better than everyone. Confidence that says, I can handle the next step. That's enough. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know the next move. What is the next thing? Study that chapter. Make that call. Practice that skill. Finish that assignment. Dotly for that opportunity. Read that book. Ask that question. Get better. Then repeat. One step, then another, then another. That's how enormous goals become achievable. You don't climb a mountain in one jump. You climb it step by step. And sometimes you need to stop looking at the entire mountain. Look at the next step. Because if you stare at everything you still have to accomplish, you can become overwhelmed. Instead, ask, what can I do today? That's your question. Now, how will I change my entire life today? Just what can I do today? Because small actions repeated consistently become major results. One page becomes a book. One workout becomes strength. One lesson becomes knowledge. One skill becomes expertise. One good decision becomes a habit, and habits become character. Your character eventually shapes your life. That's why your daily decisions matter so much. You are not just completing tasks. You're becoming somebody. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-respect. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your trust in yourself. So start making promises you can keep. Don't say, I'm going to completely change my life tomorrow. Say, tomorrow, I'm going to study for 1 focused hour. Then do it. Don't say, I'm going to become perfect. Say, I'm going to improve 1 thing. Then improve it. Don't build your life around dramatic declaration. Build it around consistent action, because consistency beats intensity when intensity doesn't last. You don't need to destroy yourself trying to become successful. You need to become disciplined enough to keep moving for a long time. That's the game. Long-term thinking. Ask yourself, what kind of life am I building? Not what feels good right now. Because what feels good right now isn't always what serves you later. Sometimes discipline means saying no, no to distractions, no to unnecessary drama, no to wasting hours, no to people who constantly pull you away from your goals, no to habits that damage your future. And saying no doesn't make you boring. It means you know what matters to you. You cannot say yes to everything and still give your best to something important. Your attention is limited. Your energy is limited. Your time is limited. So protect them. Be careful what you allow into your mind. Be careful what you repeatedly watch. Be careful what you repeatedly listen to. Be careful whose opinions you allow to define you, because your environment influences you. If everyone around you is making excuses, excuses begin to sound normal. If everyone around you is working, working begins to feel normal. If everyone around you is learning, learning becomes normal. If everyone around you is focused, focus becomes normal. So choose your environment wisely. You don't have to hate people who live differently. You don't have to judge them. Just understand that you are responsible for your direction. You can love people without copying them. You can respect people without following their choices. You can have friends and still have boundaries. And sometimes growth means changing the people and environments around you. Not because you're better than them, because you're becoming different. Your future requires a different version of you. And sometimes the version of you that gets you through one chapter cannot take you through the next. That's okay. Grow, learn, adapt, change. But don't abandon your values. That's where standards come back. Set the standard, jazz the standard, protect the standard, live by the standard. And when you fall below it, don't make excuses. Correct yourself, get back up, keep going. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be accountable. There's a huge difference. Perfection says, I can never make mistakes. Accountability says, I made a mistake and I'm going to fix what I can. That's strength. And listen, your past does not get to decide your entire future. Maybe you started late. Maybe you didn't have support. Maybe you made bad decisions. Maybe you wasted time. Maybe you didn't believe in yourself. Maybe people underestimated you. Okay, that's the past. You cannot change yesterday, but you can influence tomorrow. And the most dangerous thing you can do is spend the next 5 years complaining about the previous 5. At some point, you have to say enough. Not enough of the excuses, enough of waiting, enough of blaming, enough of saying you're not ready. Start where you are. Use what you have, learn what you don't know, and move, because nobody is coming to live your life for you. People can encourage you. People can help you. People can guide you, but nobody can take your steps for you. Your parents can't do it. Your teachers can't do it. Your friends can't do it. A motivational speaker can't do it. You have to do it. And that's actually good news, because it means your future isn't completely controlled by other people. You have choices. You have decisions. You have today. Use it. And don't wait until you're older to start thinking about the life you want. The earlier you develop discipline, the more options you create for your future. Learn how money works. Learn how communication works. Learn how to manage your time. Learn how to study. Learn how to solve problems. Learn how to speak. Learn how to listen. Learn how to work with people. Learn how to control your attention. Learn how to handle disappointment. These skills will follow you everywhere, because success isn't only about talent. It's about becoming useful, becoming dependable, becoming capable, becoming someone who can be trusted with responsibility. And here's something else. Don't chase success only because you want people to notice you. Build something that matters to you, because applause disappears, attention disappears, trends disappear, but purpose can keep you moving. Now, why you're doing what you're doing? Why do you want the degree? Why do you want the career? Why do you want the business? Why do you want to become stronger? Why do you want to succeed? What's underneath the goal? Maybe you want to give your family a better life. Maybe you want independence. Maybe you want to solve a problem. Maybe you want to create something. Maybe you want to prove to yourself that you can. Whatever it is, know your reason. Because when the work becomes difficult, Your reason will remind you why you started, and there will be difficult days. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Successes doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become more capable of handling difficulty. That's the difference. You don't need a life without problems. You need the strength to solve problems. You don't need a journey without obstacles. You need the courage to continue when obstacles appear. That's why pressure can sometimes reveal character. When everything is easy, everybody looks disciplined. When everything is going your way, everybody looks confident. But when things go wrong, that's when you discover who you are. And you have to decide in advance who you want to be. When things don't work, I will learn. When I fail, I will recover. When people doubt me, I will stay focused. When progress is slow, I will remain patient. When I feel tired, I will rest when necessary, but I will not abandon my purpose. That's a standard. And remember, rest is not quitting. Taking a break is not weakness. You are human. You need sleep. You need recovery. You need time with people you care about. You need balance. The goal isn't to become a machine. The goal is to become disciplined enough to use your energy wisely, because it's a long game. You don't need to burn out in 6 months. You need to keep growing for years. Think long term, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Imagine what happens if you improve just a little bit every day for years. Your future self would be amazed. The person you become 5 years from now is being created by the habits you repeat today. So make today's version of you useful to tomorrow's version. Give your future self something to thank you for study today. So tomorrow you have knowledge, survey, and manage resources wisely. So tomorrow you have options. Build healthy relationships. So tomorrow you have people you can trust. Develop skills. So tomorrow you can create value. Take care of yourself. So tomorrow you can continue the journey. Don't steal from your future just to entertain your present. That's one of the biggest lessons you can learn. Every choice has a consequence. Some consequences arrive quickly, others take years. That's why wisdom means thinking beyond today. And eventually you will look back, you will have memories, you will have achievements, you will have mistakes, you will have people you met, you will have opportunities you took and opportunities you didn't. You will remember moments when you were afraid but moved forward. And you will remember moments when fear made the decision for you. So make sure fear doesn't become your permanent decision maker. You can be afraid and still move. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is refusing to let fear control every decision. You don't need to feel ready. You need to become willing, willing to learn, willing to work, willing to be uncomfortable, willing to hear criticism, willing to improve, willing to start again. And here's where I want you to finish this message. Think about the person you want to become. See that person clearly, not just the clothes, not the money, not the car, not the title. Think about the character. Are they disciplined? Are they reliable? Are they kind? Are they courageous? Are they knowledgeable? Are they healthy? Are they responsible? Are they someone their younger self would respect? That's the person you should build, because material success without character is fragile. You can have achievements and still be lost. You can have money and still have no peace. You can have attention and still have no purpose. So build the inside while you're building the outside. Build character, build discipline, build wisdom, build relationships, build skills, build purpose. Then let the results come, and don't rush the process. You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to make mistakes, but don't make excuses your permanent identity. You are capable of more than one bad decision. You are capable of more than one failure. You are capable of more than one difficult season. Get back up. Learn Mevi. And remember what we started with. You don't have forever. None of us do. That isn't supposed to scare you. It's supposed to wake you up. Wake up to your opportunities. Wake up to your responsibilities. Wake up to your potential. Wake up to the people who believe in you. Wake up to the time you're wasting. Wake up to the things you keep postponing. You don't need to become successful overnight. You just need to stop wasting today. That's it. Win today, then tomorrow. Win tomorrow. Not necessarily by accomplishing everything, but by doing what matters. Study when you need to study. Work when you need to work. When you need to rest. Show up for the people who matter. Keep your promises. Learn something. Improve something. Finish something. And then do it again. That's how a life is built. Not through one giant moment, through thousands of small decisions. So set the standard and then raise it when